Peace, this is Queen C, artistic domestician here, and I'm doing a quick video on preparing a meal. As most of you know, I have 4 kids, plus me and my husband. So we're going to do a nice, great, big meal that'll fill everybody and it's nutritious and everything. And I'm just going to show you what I'm doing for today. So we have the boiling water here. We're going to be adding macaroni. I have a little bit of fusilli left over. We're going to use up what we got. Sweet potatoes, garlic, the scallion, onion, tomatoes. Sweet potatoes, we have the vanilla, nutmeg, and cloves, cinnamon, brown sugar. We're going to add some mushrooms in our dish today, carrots, tomatoes, wine in between, cheese, old cheese that we're going to use for, I use the old cheese for the macaroni. We're going to do rice and peas today. Rice and gungo peas. Congo peas on there, what we pronounce it gungo peas. Okay, and then all our seasonings here with the garlic, the black pepper, the breadcrumbs. I just put everything out so I know everything that I'm using for my thing instead of having to go back and forth in the cupboard. Right now, wash the rice and we're going to put that to steam. We have the pot boiling. We're going to boil the macaroni. That's not going to take long. And then we have the chicken that is soaking in the salt and the vinegar and some lemon juice to clean that off before we cut out all the fat. So I'm going to get started, and in between I'm going to show you clips of what I'm doing so you can see what's happening and then see the meal at the end. It's going to be bomb. Peace. Always make sure you wash off the tops of your cans because yes, they are dirty and we don't want none of that going in our rice and peas. I rinse off my peas because I just don't want juice that's been sitting in. Okay, so when you buy the coconut, the cream coconut, it will be kind of... This is thyme, dried thyme. Now, these are for those of you who don't know. I'm sure there's enough people out there who cook either every day like I do or cook West Indian food so they know about all of this. And for those of you who don't know, yes, you put the sticks in. Like I said, a sip in between. I want to say big ups to my cousin Jessica, who works at a winery, and she brought me this bottle. So, when you wash your mushrooms, you wash them in cool water. You don't need to take off the skin. I was brought up to actually where they take it and they peel the skin off, but I'm not going to do all that. So wash them in cool water. I do cut off the tips at the ends, not the whole end, but at least that part of it. And then we're just going to slice them up and we're going to saute them. Meantime, I'm going to prep the cheese for the macaroni. Okay, so my macaroni is done, so I'm just going to add everything in my pot here. This is what I'm going to cook it in. Usually if I'm doing it for like a family gathering, I will do it in a big foil pan, but just for dinner tonight, so put 2 eggs in there. I don't know about you, but these little white things, I always take them out because I don't know what the heck they are. Legs, eyes, whatever. Just kidding. But I guess I shouldn't mention that while I'm cooking. As you can hear, G98.7 is playing some tunes. I'm getting Nafaya, my son Nafaya, on the camera. Thank you, Nafaya.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay, right? So we have 2 eggs in there. Mix that all up.
That looks very good.
And we're going to add some salt, pepper, going to add the cheese, going to add some garlic, going to add some chopped finely onion, mix it up and put it in the pan. In the oven. Damn, those onions got me. Just gonna put it in the oven, let that cook, and while that's cooking, we're gonna peel the sweet potatoes over here, get those ready, and then put those in the oven same time. And then we're just gonna do the chicken next. I'm gonna season that up, cut out all the fat that's in it because I'm really anal with my chicken, and I'm not a fan of having pure fat in my chicken. So I like to cut out as much as I can. And we're gonna season it up, and then after we season it up, we're gonna brown it in some oil in my pan, and then we're gonna just add some more vegetables to it, let that cook, let that simmer, stew, and whatnot. And then we're gonna saute our vegetables in the other pan, and then we'll cut up some fresh tomatoes instead of doing salad, and it's gonna be spectacular. Okay, so now I've seasoned up my chicken with all my seasonings. You can do whatever seasonings you want. I have my specific seasonings that I use. Sea salt, black pepper, garlic powder, poultry seasoning. And then after I season all that up and mix it up, if you have a lot of chicken like I have here, I fold it all in, and then I just add a little bit more garlic and poultry seasoning, and then a little bit more black pepper. And then after I mix all that, I put the soy sauce on it and ketchup. And then I let that brown. I'm going to turn my thing up a bit so it can brown a bit more faster. It's on about 7 or 8 on my dial. I use sunflower oil. You can use whatever oil you want, really. I have started cutting up the sweet potatoes to make the candied yams or sweet potato, however you want to call it. So that's what we'll be doing next.
Luscious chicken. Simmering potato. Lovely macaroni pie. Rickety rice. Back to the chicken.
Chopped up the sweet potatoes here, and I've added nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, just adding a bit more cloves here because I love the smell of cloves. It gives such a good aroma. And then I'm going to put a teaspoon of vanilla. We've microwaved about half a cup of butter, and I poured that on there before I put the seasoning, and then we're going to mix it all up, and I'm going to put it in the oven to cook. And then I'll caramelize, and you can mix it while it's cooking. What I forgot to mention the brown sugar. Now a lot of these recipes call for 2 cups of like white sugar, but I'm using brown sugar to cut back on the white sugar, and it's more better for you. And then if you feel like you want more sweetness, you can always add honey or guava jelly, actually. And I learned that from, actually I think it was over at Scotty P's for Studio one time. He gave me peppermint tea and he had the guava jelly put in it. Just as good as honey, and like you get the concentrated sweetness and you don't have to use so much, and it's better for you. So as you can see, the macaroni pie is done being cooked. The rice and peas over here, as you can see, is done. So basically we just have these 2 dishes left, and then I saute our vegetables, and then we're good to go. So this is the finished meal. We have some stewed chicken, candied yams, baked macaroni and cheese, some sauteed carrots and mushrooms with scallion, rice and peas, gonga peas, and fresh cut tomatoes, and of course a glass of wine.
Eat your food, baby.
Okay, so we're finished our meal here. Absolutely fantastic. Gonna feel you don't need dessert after this. Maybe later on after a couple hours, but this is a filling meal. It's nutritious, it's flavorful, and this is how we do in the West Indies. When we cook, we cook. So try this at home. For all those who already know how to cook this, then you don't know what it is. For those of you who haven't cooked any of these things before, try one of them. Your family will love it. And yes, Artistic Domestician, Queen C. Catch me on WordPress, catch me on Facebook, catch me on YouTube, and happy eating.